Well, with work and school stress upon us, you've likely noticed the dinner time frustration mounting. Knowing what to eat can be a real challenge. However, meal planning can be the solution. How the heck do you do that? Well, we have expert help here. Joining us, Andrea D'Ambrosio, registered dietitian and owner of Dietetic Directions, to share some tips. Good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, Bob. Amazing to see you, and I am so excited to talk about 3 big tips to get you meal planning, reduce that dinner time stress, because we know deciding what to eat can just be mounting on top of everything else we already have going on.
Oh yeah, so what's the first step?
All right, so tip number 1, we need to take stock before we shop. So what we are talking about here is simply opening your fridge and looking at what you have in the fridge that's going to go bad. And we're going to use this perishable food to act as inspiration for planning our meals. And this tip is right from Meal Plan Like a Pro. It's a dietitian written resource. I actually wrote the content in it, and it's all tried and true to simplify meal planning.
Yeah.
So that first step.
And that's important for the budget too, and food waste, of course. Canadians in particular, like, we're brutal when it comes to food waste. So this really helps to that end.
Exactly. We're spending about 10% of our grocery budget actually on food that goes bad. And oftentimes we don't even know that it's in the back of the fridge. So items here are things that I often have left over at the end of a week. So things like celery, peppers, mushrooms, cauliflower. Use this and do a fridge cleaner recipe. So basically, maybe a stir fry would be a good option to just throw everything in. A soup would be another great option. A quiche I love doing, because you can just throw in the leftover vegetables, use them up, save money.
Yeah, and we can, kind of color outside the lines too. Like, why not have breakfast for dinner?
Absolutely. So using meal themes is something that inspires creativity, and it's also covered in the Meal Plan Like a Pro guide. But for the step number 2, we can also do a schedule review in the notes section. So what we have here, Bob, is we're just looking at your week ahead, and we're seeing what you have in commitments, whether it's meetings or if you have soccer practice for the kids, piano lessons, if you're working late. Take all of these factors into consideration so that you can plan a meal.
Keep it simple on those busy nights.
Exactly. So one of my favorite simple meal options are doing 15-minute meals. So if you know you have piano practice and you're working late, something like avocado toast with hard-boiled eggs is one of my go-to options, and super simple. You can even plan ahead when you know what's coming up for the week. So if you're having this busy day on Thursday, for example, you can plan to hard cook those eggs on a Sunday. Takes 10 minutes. They last in the fridge for a week. We get that boost of 6 grams of protein per egg. So can't beat the convenience, and we're prepping ourselves ahead by just knowing what you have in your schedule for that week. And then plan a meal accordingly, or even plan to have leftovers. No problem with that.
That's such a huge stress reducer.
Yeah.
Just having it ready to go. Okay, third step?
Yeah, so the third step. So after we've seen what we have, we're using it in our meals, we're making an appropriate solution based on our schedule. We next want to use our planned meals and translate them into a recipe list. So on our meal plan template, which you get for free in the meal plan on getcracking.ca/meal plan, but everything that you come up with for a meal item, you actually slot down into the grocery list on the bottom, which is ordered by section of the grocery store. So this means that, for example, if we're using that avocado toast, do we have avocado at home? Do we have bread and arugula and lime? And then we simply put it all in the same section so that when you're in the produce section, you're more efficient and you're only buying what you have on that list, and it translates to the meal that you have planned as well. So no last minute grocery shopping. You can plan ahead and go into the grocery store with a plan and come out with your appropriate groceries.
Wow, no, seriously, that's an amazing, we were talking about the budget. It can be a money saver, definitely a stress reducer as well. And now, how do we get this guide?
Yes, so you go to getcracking.ca/meal plan, and you can order PDF copies, you can order paper copies, and it'll be delivered right to your house. They also come in French as well. So great teaching tools. It's a 30-page resource complete with templates and lots of meal inspiration, which is something I know in my practice, a lot of people have a hard time coming up with what to eat for dinner when there's so many things on our mind. So I love meal planning because it really gets you prepared for that week ahead and saves that brain space so that you can think about other things and you know what you're having for dinner. And one other strategy I just really want to take home is that start simple. If you're new to meal planning, don't plan elaborate meals that take a lot of time. If anything, make the meal theme be so easy.
Especially
so
in those busy nights in the calendar.
Yeah, so you can just practice following through with what you had planned.
Yeah, well, it's so cool that you're a part of this planner too, so we'll link it up at chch.com so we can get that and get organized.